Hey there, vernacular faithful. Redcoat here. I'm not sporting the red coat, but that's the moniker, so that's what I do. I wanted to talk a little bit about the industry at the moment. It's old hat that the AAA industry is on fire and the Titanic is sinking and the people are gathering all of the nice tchotchkes, all of the golden Mario mushrooms and the master swords and the what's another one, the silver jump boots, and getting the fuck off the boat. But with that all said, since the AAA boat has sprung a leak, and if we're really honest, if we've been looking back, if you've been paying attention, that leak has been there for years. It's been there for years. It just you haven't been watching. You haven't been watching. But all you had to do was look at their practices with the DLC stuff and see that things are slowly but surely getting worse and worse with each new iteration, and you keep on getting back on the boat and hoping that maybe this time they'll learn. Maybe this time they won't take me for all I'm worth. Maybe this time they won't trick me out of my money. Look. I understand there's goodwill, but then there's just being dumb. Stop it. Stop being dumb. You know that they're there to make the money. You know that the people at the top are specifically shareholders who just want more money. And while their teams are made up of very passionate people, you know that they're working under companies that don't care about their dreams, their hopes, their lives. They don't care about their marriages. They don't care about the money that they could possibly use to invest, raise themselves up. No, they care about the product, but less about the product. They care about the return. So I understand a lot of people lamenting the death of gaming. That watch this. The ship is sinking. Oh no! There goes another large scale company. Oh, watch as it burns and explodes. And as you can tell, I have no. I'm not sad about this. Why am I not sad about this? Well, it's really simple. I might be a little bit bitter, just a little. I'm one of those guys that kept knocking on the door and doing my work, making things a little bit better with each step, and just asking for a chance to shine, and that never happened for me. So I'm a little bit vindicated in this. But beyond that, also, like I said, they don't care about marriages. They've broken many marriages with the amount of crunch time they force people to go through. They've they've broken people's health with the way that they crunch. And I get it. There's this culture of if you're not willing to work hard enough, you're not going to reach your dream. But anyone who actually is a smart programmer understands that it's not about how hard you work. It's about how efficiently you work. It's about the problems that you solve once and never have to solve again. It's about the implementations you make that make it so that you can work faster and save your energy for when it really matters. It's not about just go, 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 go until you die. And I get it. You got those Jocko Willings out there and the Goggins and all that. It's like, no, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Break yourself in half. And there's some logic to that. I will grant you. I will grant you that if you're trying to be the best of something, you do have to suffer through a lot of work, a hard work. And you have to study, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. You have to persevere. But there's a point where you're breaking yourself in two to break yourself in two to tell someone else that you broke yourself in two. That's just ego and pride. That isn't working towards a specific goal of I'm getting this strong so that I can do X. That's planning ahead, that's thinking. And you need the dedication to actually get there. Now, granted, I know not everyone is capable of thinking 5 or 6 steps ahead. Hell, I have trouble doing that. But I digress. Having a little bit of prudence with where you spend your energy and who you give it to, that's important. And that's the reason why I look at the AAA industry and what it's doing to itself and how it is emerging a lot of workers. And I do feel for the workers, don't get me wrong. But they have a ton of talent and they have a ton of skills. At this point, if they want to stay in the industry and do what they do, the best thing they can do is look left and look right to all of the other people that have been tossed out on their bums and say, all right, boys, we got all the talent, we got all the skills, let's work together. I mean, if you already know how to do the 3D modeling, there's free tools out there for you to work with. And if you already know how to do the project management, find the person who already knows how to do the 3D modeling and say, let's work together. Now, I know the only problem is, of course, where do we get the money to do this? And I mean, that's a difficult one. Assumedly, if you've been working for those big companies and you're now on the outs, you should have some sort of nest egg. I hope you do. Otherwise, you might want to hire a financial accountant. Because I mean, if you're making like 80 to 70,000 a year, um, you need to be putting that away somewhere. I mean, put it into life insurance, put it into an investment. I don't know, invest in the Cayman Islands somewhere. Just don't let it sit in your savings and lose to inflation every year. Uh, I mean, you still need your emergency fund, so you have something there, but uh, got to make your money work for you. And I say all of that, and I'm flat broke, so who am I to talk about that? But anyway, I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. The thing is, I'm not going to cry for the death of the game industry because it's not dying. Mm-mm. It's shedding dead skin. It's getting rid of bad organs. It's cleaning itself out. Now, the thing that I find most interesting is that, and I mean, people will tell me otherwise, but AAA has been shooting themselves in the foot ad infinitum for quite some time. They've just had the money to survive. I mean, PlayStation never made a profit on each individual system that they sold. Rather, it was, I mean, granted, it was always on the games, mind you, and the same is true with Xbox. Uh, I mean, that's why I'm still kind of a Nintendo stan because whenever I look at how they do their production, they're like, well, let's make something that the users can afford. The average person who's going to want to play these things, let's make something that they can do on the regular, that they don't have to make time for. We're not selling them a Camaro, we're selling them a toy. And that's why I always call them a toy company, because they understand their role here. They're not they're not the trophy wife. They're not making a trophy for you. They're making a toy. They're making something for you to play with. They're making something to spark your imagination, something to inspire you. The people who need that aren't the people who already have all the money. Because they can go jump out of a plane with a parachute. Golden parachute. I mean, they can go into a wind tunnel and just go in there and spin around for a while for $100 a day. Actually, it might be even closer to like $32 for 7 hours, something around those lines. They can go do that. No. The people who need these distractions, these brief sojourns into other worlds, these brief points of just having some time to yourself where you're not struggling. That's the people on the ground floor. That's the people who need that stuff, and that's why alcoholism and various drugs and everything, all that. That's why that's so popular down here on the ground floor. Because people need that for the amount of stress that they deal with on the regular. Well, I say they need it, but rather they depend on it. Now, the other thing is, if you have religion, and if you have meditation and various other techniques, you can manage the stress. But it's not easy. It really isn't. And this is to say nothing of the things, and we can see that with just the current generation and everything like that. But yeah, I'm not going to cry for AAA. You had all the money. You had all the chances. You shot yourself in the foot, and you kept shooting yourself in the foot. And even though you still have a stub that you're standing on right now, we both know that you can't help but continue to shoot down into your bones until you don't have anything to stand on. Until the leg is gone. And it might be evil for me to say this, but I'm kind of enjoying watching the show. Anyway, that's all I had to say today. I wanted to do something a little more fun and take on the role of a Machiavellian character. Did I do good? Maybe? No? Alright. Anyway, this is Red Coat of Vernacular Games. We're a small company trying to eke our way through the ecosystem. We've got a couple of things that we're doing right now, a few games that are in work, and a few games that we've already released. In particular, we've got Legends of Mathmatica Squared, Under the Shadow of Certainty, a classical-style RPG in the form of the NES format. Does a few interesting things and has a bunch of puzzle dungeons and math puns. Additionally, we've got Highway to the Moon, which is a scrolling shoot 'em up in the vein of Spy Hunter. Never heard of Spy Hunter? Don't worry. Look it up on YouTube. You'll figure it out. It's the Spy Hunter with a few twists here and there. Now, we're working on a few other products right now. I don't want to announce them, really, not yet. Not until I got a little more to show you. But we've got a bit cooking. So, if you're interested, go and check it out on our Steam page. And you can look up both Highway to the Moon and Legends of Mathmatica there. Additionally, we do have a storybook that we released a while back. It was for one Jeffrey Morgan. He wrote a little thing. It was called The Fairy and the Dragon. That's available on BookBaby. And rest assured, we haven't left the children's storybook arena, but as you well know, the economy is on fire, and so are we. So, what do you do when you're on fire? Well, you either put yourself out or you run towards the ocean as fast as you can. We're trying to put ourselves out, but worst comes to worst, you'll find our charred corpses crawling across the ground somewhere. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now. Ta ta. Have a good day.